Point that back, because all you gotta do is keep pointing to your nose. Okay? Keep pointing to your nose. Oh my God, it worked, right? Did you do anything?
No,
besides pointing to your nose?
I was scared that it wouldn't work.
Yeah, right. Explain why in the Silam Tao, that part, why we point the finger to our nose, and also why we move the elbow and not the wrist, right? So we don't want this. See how my wrist is going back? Okay. We want this. Okay, and we want to stop here. All right. So when we do the Silam Tao in this particular part and we pull back with the elbow, all right, so a lot of the Silam Tao, one of the more hidden trainings of Silam Tao is separating energy, okay? All right, so you always kind of want two energies going in two different directions. All right, so if we do this and we pull this, there's only one energy. It's just going straight back, okay? If you do this, and it's very subtle, right? I move my elbow, but I point my fingers to my nose. So now as I pull this and point it to my nose, this is almost like there's energy coming straight out of here.
Feel that.
Right? You can feel that, right? You crank it, correct.
That's very wrist.
But that's different though. You're not using, so there's training, and then there's application, okay? In training, Silam Tao is a training form. It's not a fighting form. Okay, you're enjoying the content. If you do, please like and subscribe. It'd be very much appreciated. Also, if you're looking for some custom designed Energy Wing Chun t-shirts, please click in the description below. Thank you again, and back to the video. Learn a lot of techniques in it, but it's a training form in that you want to exaggerate certain things for a particular purpose, right? So you're doing many things here. One, when you're doing this, the only reason why it's tight is because you're not used to doing it. That's like me telling you, do the splits. And you're gonna be, well, I can't, right? I don't practice it enough, right? So if you don't practice it enough, of course it's gonna feel tight. It's gonna be very hard, right? It's gonna be like stiff. So,
already this one's way more stiff than this one.
yeah, right. Okay, so now the concept is this. Energy is going back, right? The elbow's pushing back while this is going forward. Remember, if this is going forward and this is going back, that's two energies. It's going, okay? So now, I'm gonna demonstrate on you, so stand sideways, okay? This right here, okay? So go ahead and do the Wu Sao, right? This one right here. Okay, this one, okay. All right, so if you do the Wu Sao, right? Let's say you come out to you've done the Fu Sao, you come out, now you Chun Sao out to the Wu Sao, okay? All right, so go ahead and pull it back, right? So if I hit it, you see how it just kind of collapsed and stuck to your body? All right, so I'm gonna try to do it on mine and then we're gonna fix yours, okay? So when I do this, I'm pointing to my nose, elbow's here, elbow's gonna go back. So come on this side and just slap it. And it's gonna slap it. Harder. So what did it do?
Yeah, it kind of bounces back.
Bounces back, right?
Spring back.
Versus yours, when you hit it, it was like this and it kind of just stuck there. All right, so by pointing your finger to your nose, it creates this energy. So it's going here, the energy is going here, which then creates this energy, which then this elbow going back creates, this is a forward energy here and a back energy, so it's separating energy. So as I'm going back and you slap it, harder, comes right back. You see that? It's a natural, okay? So then it becomes, over time, it becomes almost like a weighing scale. That if someone hits it and it's in good structure and it has that kind of bounce to it, like right now it does, then I know how much pressure is coming in and I'm not reacting to it. You see, right? I'm letting that springiness, because it's pointed to my nose, shooting energy here, as this is coming against that energy that's going out, it's going against it, right? It tells me how fast, how powerful that might come, and then maybe I can still move it out of the way to attack, okay? But the reason why it feels tight is because you haven't been training it enough, right? So now, if we use Wu Sao in an application base, say fighting, right, or just other things, Do you crank it back as much? No. But because you've cranked it back enough, and like so when I do say
conditioned.
yeah,
already.
so it's already so as I pull it back, it's more relaxed now. Right? Whereas in training, if I don't pull that back enough to start to stretch those ligaments and tendons, then I won't be able to have the ability to be relaxed and have it back enough. Does that make sense? Right? It's like doing the splits. If you can't do the splits, right? Once you can do the splits, you can, boom. You don't need to warm up, right? You're that flexible. I can't do the splits, right? So I can use that example because it hurts, right? So as you go down, it starts to hurt, and then what happens? You fight the resist. As it gets to a certain point, you're like, I gotta fight it. I can't go down anymore. Right? Someone were to push me, I try to squeeze my legs back up, right? Because you're not conditioned to do that. But if you were like Jean-Claude Van Damme, that can boom, right? Without even having to warm up, how relaxed would his say? I can do the splits of my Wu Sao now. How relaxed would my Wu Sao be and be in proper position? Very relaxed, right? Yeah, right. So that's the point of Wu Sao is that as they call it the Great Wall of China, which is the last line of defense. Okay, so if you pass, let's say I have a hand out here, right? Whatever, you pass my first guard, then you hit my second guard. Well, that's what it's there for. See how when you touch it and you let go, it kind of goes back, but it doesn't go out here. It just kind of stays here. It's the last line of defense, the Great Wall of China. So it has that bouncy feel to it. Okay, so let's get yours and see if we can get the bouncy feel. That make sense, right? Okay. All right, so let's get this one. Okay, so you want that, right? Okay, so keep elbows a little bit. Just point that back, because all you gotta do is keep pointing to your nose. Okay, keep pointing to your nose. Oh my God, it worked, right? Did you do anything?
No,
Besides pointing to your
I was
nose.
scared that it wouldn't work.
Yeah, right? All you got to do is keep pointing to your nose. And it has a natural bounce. So then it becomes...
I feel the energy coming out this way and almost...
Going back, yep.
And it's supported here.
Correct.
It's almost,
Do we talk about Wing Chun never retreats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Was that on Tuesday or something? Yeah. Okay. So this falls into that same exact concept where Wing Chun never retreats, right? So that's what we talk about. So if you look at this, if you don't have that, say, pull to your nose, and we're going to exaggerate just a little bit, and I go to hit it,
that's retreating.
It's retreating,
there.
and then it's stuck, and then you fall back, right? But if you have the energy going forward, and remember we talked about energy never retreating. Now your body may look like it's retreating, but it's based on the energy, right? So if I do this, see how it comes back? Right? So that's never, is that going forward or back? It's going forward, right? Because it's meeting my energy, so a little bit better. There it goes, right? So if I get here, it's a lot harder for me to get you back. I have to use more strength, right? I mean, eventually you will, right? It's not meant to be like you're like this immovable wall, right? It's meant to act like a weighing scale to feel the energy once it passes the first guard. Okay, last Great Wall of China, right? Last line of defense. So as it has that bounce, because, right? So if we have this, and I go to hit it, you can tell how much I'm giving. Don't resist it. All you got to do is just point to your nose. Just accept it. And how much am I giving you? Not that much. How much am I giving you? More or less? A little bit more, right? Right. And so now you know if you keep pointing to your nose, now you know when I retreat, it goes back. So this is when they say, when in one of the Wing Chun proverbs, right? They say, when the energy retreats, you shoot in. Okay, that's one of the proverbs, right? So
and
that's
I'll be able to feel that.
You'll be able to feel it.
Slap it.
When I slap and I let go, see how it went back?
And
then you go in.
Right.
That's how you know when it retreats. But if you don't have that springiness, yeah, if you don't have the springiness and you're just like this, right, you have to guess it, and you have right, or you don't know. Right. But this tells you, because naturally, once it goes in, and if they were to pull it out, then it naturally will fall forward. And once it falls forward, that's when you rush in.
Yeah, and you can follow that.
Correct.
Almost the energy just takes it into a strike or your next.
Yeah, or you move your body into it. Right. But that's how you. But if you don't have the right structure, so that's what Selim Tao is teaching you in that particular instance, is that you have the ability to have that springy feel. Yeah. So what a lot of times what happens is so it's good, and then once you hit it, then people tend to lose the focus of pointing to the nose.
Yeah.
So if you keep it always to the nose, right? And so I have to use a lot more strength. Right here, I have to use more strength to push him. But before, it just like, collapse. Okay, so that's, right? So yeah, you'll feel that it probably feels wristy, but that's because you're not doing it very often that way. That's the first time you've ever done it that way, right?
Yeah.
Right, and you've been training Wing Chun and with other people before, and you didn't get that. You need to have that going out, right, from here. When you bend it back and point to the nose, energy goes out. You move with the elbow, so that way as you're moving with the elbow back, this still has forward energy to protect you. To feel incoming strikes or the amount of force that's coming, this is protecting you. That's
what's interesting is by really focusing on that, it's allowing me to focus more on the movement
Correct.
of my elbow to bring
Correct.
it in.
So how were you doing it before? You were doing this, right?
Yeah, I was moving basically
Moving your
my
wrist.
hand.
Yeah.
I was like,
Right, so if you're moving,
going in and out.
if you're moving your hands backwards, where's your energy going? Backwards. So if I'm a good Wing Chun guy and you move your hands backwards, well, I accelerate that, and then now you're in trouble, right? But if you have the energy going forward, which in many ways this is 5.01 if you do it right, you feel that, right, let's keep it back, and it kind of bounces. So it gives you, if I start to push it forward, then you know what? Now move it. No, don't. So just keep that. So don't. So watch. So go push on mine. Okay. So you went this and you went like this. See how it went empty? Okay. Watch when you push on mine. You see how? So keep giving me pressure, right? So you're trying to get me, right? So if I move it, see, it still sticks with me. That's eventually sticky hands. But because I'm not doing releasing and then I go like this, then that's gone. See, the stickiness is gone, right? So if you do the same, you want to keep that forward energy as you're pointing to your nose, creates that feeling. So now move your elbow. Just move your elbows that way, and I go with you. If you move your elbow this way, I go with you. Now if you use your wrist, now it's all wristy, right? See how wristy that is? I can feel it. If you're wristy, then I push. Then see how, because you're not maintaining forward energy. You're just moving the wrist around here. And
swirling.
Yeah, so it's weak. So it's weak going that way, so I attack it that way. But if you just use the projection energy, now, and you move your elbow with it, you maintain stick, right? You see that? Mm-hmm. If you use your wrist, that's not going out. So it's weak there because you're kind of moving in and out, right? Okay, so that's why that's very important, is that motion. Here, same thing, right? You can feel it, right? Feel it. See how I see it, right? I'm not doing it really much. You move back, it's just my fingers creating that. How quiet is that?
Yeah.
There's no guessing, right? I'm not.
It's just stuck.
Yeah, it's just stuck. So that's proper Wu Sao. So when you're using Wu Sao, when we're doing lop Sao, right? Boom, boom, boom. It's the same motion. Because it has to have that bounce. It has to have that energy going forward, right? Because what if someone punches me and it's not in ready position, and it's just like this, and you punch it, right? Then it's already going. I don't like it, so I push back. A good Wing Chun guy, if I push, you'll use that against me, right? So if I'm a better Wing Chun guy than you, you go to punch it and I accept it. Where's your empty? Where's your hole? There isn't. I use it against you, right? You don't. I'm not doing anything, right? Besides pointing my finger to my nose. What do you feel? I mean, of course, at some point it's going to hit me, right? But
you're just in your center line.
Do you feel there's like a little pushback? A little bit, right?
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah, I'm just pointing my fingers back, and you have that springy, like it's kind of like resisting him a little bit, but it's still there. So if I wanted to attack it, well, it's easy. Right? Makes sense? Okay. So that's
allows that springiness.
Yeah. So yeah, but it has to come from the elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to move. Yep, and then you have to you can't react to the actual incoming pressure too.
Right. You just have to accept it.
You have to accept it, and you just have to get a better Wu. And eventually, you'll learn how to, right, defend against it. You're not going to just stand there and be, oh, my Wu's indestructible. Yeah. Right. I'm just going to stay here. Right. You're not going to do that. It's going to be someone presses on it. Well, there's a lot of opportunity, right? If it's here and you start to press on it, right? I can do different things. If you press on it different ways, right? So if you do here, of course, I'm doing that for sure. Right? But if you press on it that way, then I'm going this way. Right? Depends on your direction. But But the main thing is that you're doing the work and not me, right? What am I doing? Just this work. And moving with my elbow, having energy out this way, energy back this way. That's it.
Feeling it.
I'm feeling it and trusting it over time. Okay? Okay, so that's Wu Sao, and that's why it's in the form. That's why when we talk about Silam Tao, it's the little idea form, right? Which, we talked about it right before about being at the alphabet, right? So in the beginning, Silam Tao is like learning the alphabet, right? ABCs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever, right? And then before you can spell a word, well, now you have to learn the alphabet. Or if you get better, now you can spell a word with it. Cat, dog, right? And then as you get better in Wing Chun and your Silam Tao gets better, now you can actually put 3 words together or a sentence together. And then eventually you can do what? Oh, I can write a paragraph, multiple sentences, then a paragraph. And as you get even better, now you can write an essay. As you get better, you can now write a PhD doctorate or whatever, right? Like paper, right? But that's the transition, right? So if you think about just that, how long does it take for us to learn from a kid to be able to learn to write decent essays? I'm not saying that I can write even good anyways, but in general, it takes a long time. You don't
At least 10 years.
Yeah, like you're not writing essays till you're like at least middle school. Maybe you, yeah, right. You're not even writing long ones, probably just a small one, small paper, a 1-page paper maybe. Right, so if you look at it in terms of that, that's how long Wing Chun kind of takes, right? The progression. And then you're not just writing one essay. You're learning so many other things that we're teaching you, right? Then eventually put it on the dummy, like what Mike's doing, right? And then you do all the, then we're doing drills. So you have to have a longer outlook. It's not a 1 to 2 year thing. It's not even a 3 to 5 year thing. 3 to 5 years is probably minimum you want to invest in it. You want to be good at it, 5, 10, 15 years. Longer. The more you, and then the better you get, right? The better you are at writing, right? And that's how it becomes. It becomes more natural as you become longer and longer, immersed in it. Okay? Make sense? Yeah, you got it, right? Okay, cool.